Did you know that in a 2023 study, 58% of people in open relationships reported feeling more jealous than those in monogamous ones? That might sound counterintuitive, right? After all, aren't open relationships supposed to eliminate the jealousy trap? Stick around and we'll uncover why that's not always the case. Open relationships are often seen as the ultimate cure for jealousy. Relationships with no secrets, fewer restrictions, and ideally less envy. But here's the twist. While they promise more freedom, many individuals actually experience heightened levels of jealousy. Today, we're breaking down why that happens and how understanding these dynamics can foster healthier relationships. Here's the paradox. Open relationships are built on the idea of shared trust and openness, making jealousy a non-issue, at least in theory. But in practice, many people find that the opposite happens. Seeing their partner develop emotional or physical connections with someone else can trigger deep feelings of insecurity. And no matter how progressive or accepting you think you are, jealousy can creep in when boundaries and expectations are even slightly misaligned. What's worse, this jealousy is often accompanied by feelings of guilt. If you agreed to an open setup, shouldn't you be above jealousy? This internal conflict alone can make these emotions even harder to work through. Why is jealousy so prevalent in open relationships? It often comes down to fundamental psychological factors. Fear of loss. When your partner forms other meaningful connections, it can subconsciously trigger a fear that they might drift away or prioritize someone else over you. It's human nature to feel attached and threatened when those attachments feel shaky. Comparison and self-doubt. Watching your partner connect with someone else can lead to unhealthy comparisons. Are they more attractive than me? Funnier? Better in some way? This spiral of self-doubt can fuel jealousy, even in the most secure individuals. Unrealized boundaries. Often, jealousy arises when boundaries aren't clear. If expectations around intimacy, time, or communication aren't well defined, it can lead to confusion, hurt feelings, and envy. Conflict with social conditioning. Society has long valued exclusivity in relationships. For many, being enough for one person is tied to self-worth. Open relationships challenge this narrative, but undoing years of conditioning is easier said than done. Here's the key point. Jealousy in open relationships doesn't have to be a deal breaker. What sets successful partnerships apart is a commitment to understanding and communication. When jealousy strikes, it's critical to talk it out. Share how you're feeling without blame, and work collaboratively with your partner to address the root cause. This might mean reassessing boundaries, reaffirming each other's value, or simply acknowledging that jealousy is natural and doesn't undermine your relationship's success. Self-awareness also plays a huge role. Recognize where your jealousy is coming from. Is it rooted in insecurity, unmet expectations, or something else entirely? Understanding your own triggers is the first step toward resolving them. To sum it up, jealousy in open relationships isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign that you're human. However, overcoming it requires self-awareness, clear boundaries, and lots of honest conversations. Open relationships can thrive, but only if both partners are willing to face jealousy head-on and grow through it. Now it's your turn. Have you experienced jealousy in an open relationship, or do you have thoughts on how to manage it? Drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your perspective. And if you're curious about how communication can strengthen all types of relationships, check out our next video on building trust in partnerships. See you there.
A cozy tea time talking about jealousy, which is possibly the least cozy topic when it comes to non-monogamy. I've been in an open relationship for 15 years and I still get jealous. And I think that I bucket my jealousy into maybe 3 different categories. A fear of being replaced, a fear of missing out, and a third category that I don't really have a good name for yet. I feel like my jealousy has been triggered by completely different, often random things, such as the other woman being prettier, younger, having better nails, sharing an interest that my husband has that I don't, especially when it comes to music. I've been triggered when my husband experiences new relationship energy, which is that joy and excitement of meeting a new person. And yes, I have been that woman that compares everything in my closet to everything in her closet. I I am not proud of that. And when I ask myself, why am I jealous over and over again? Why? To get to the core, the root of like what makes me jealous, it's usually a fear of being replaced. And for me, there's only two things that have solved that. One is confidence in myself. When I'm more confident in who I am as a person, I don't get jealous as often. And the other thing is confidence in my relationship, which has come with time. I've been in an open relationship for 15 years. And so during 15 years, I've experienced times where I'm more confident in myself and my body and less so, especially after big changes such as pregnancy. And my relationship has gone through big ups and downs. So I don't think that confidence cures all jealousy, but I do think it's a good thing to think about if you are experiencing jealousy. And if this is the kind of jealousy that you experience as well, please share in the comments so that others don't feel as alone.
Do people in open relationships get jealous? Short answer is yes. Everybody gets jealous. I would say the biggest difference, there's two key points. One is people who are polyamorous or in any kind of open relationship typically don't see jealousy as a four-letter word. They don't see jealousy as an instant signal that, that whatever's happening is bad and should be shut down. Whereas a lot of people, as soon as they feel jealousy, they want their partner to stop that behavior. Jealousy is an emotion. It's an important emotion. It's an emotion, but so is anger and happiness and love and sadness. And we have to learn to process emotions, all of them, right, in order to be healthy. Jealousy is no different. It's something we absolutely can learn how to process in a healthier way. It's a great signal. Jealousy is a great signal that you need to stop, maybe remove yourself from a situation to take a breath so that you can analyze, am I feeling jealous because something is actually happening that is inappropriate or crossing the line in some way? Or am I jealous because I'm just feeling insecure? I've got work that I need to do. And so jealousy is just a signal for you to stop and pay attention to whatever's going on and do a little bit of analysis. And so I would say people that are in open relationships successfully typically have learned to do this. And the second thing is people's monogamy. I would say in the therapy world, many are beginning to discuss monogamy, the natural tendency towards monogamy to be on a scale between very monogamous to non-monogamous, and that people tend to naturally lie somewhere on this scale, and of course they can shift throughout their life just due to experiences. And that many people identify very naturally as, for example, polyamorous, that they realize, wow, I'm very far, to the right on this scale. Naturally, that's how I think. I think in a polyamorous way. I think of love as plentiful, and in that, you don't have to stop loving one person in order to have love for another person. They don't compete with each other. And they feel that they are polyamorous as an identity, and that to live in any other way would be really going against who they are, part of their core of who they are. And for many people, being monogamous is part of who they are. That would be the same argument. And so I do think that many people who are in open relationships or are polyamorous they are further to the right on the scale naturally. I would say I am further to the right on the scale naturally, something I really didn't understand about myself for most of my adult life. I really had to kind of learn about it and go, oh, that does resonate with me. I do think of things that way naturally. I just never really realized that I did. Because sometimes somebody has to talk about something before you're like, oh yeah. Just because we're all taught to be monogamous, right? I literally didn't think there was any other option. It didn't dawn on me. It didn't dawn on me until like years and years in. I was like, oh, there's other ways. And so, where do you think you are on this scale? I would say that people that are a little bit further towards polyamory or towards non-monogamy naturally probably do feel less jealousy naturally than others, but that doesn't mean they don't feel jealousy. Everyone can feel jealous. It's also important to understand, are you feeling jealous or are you feeling envious? Right? Are you actually envious of something that somebody else has? And of course, if you are feeling those feelings, one of the best things you can do is take a break. So you can take a breath. Just a few seconds sometimes is all it takes to start to get back to where you're thinking straight. And again, that is a signal. It doesn't mean that whatever's happening has to stop and is bad, but it does mean that you need to do a little analysis to decide if whatever is happening is about them and their behavior or is about you. And if it's about you, you absolutely can process those feelings. You can get better. You can move past it, and you can learn to not be afraid of jealousy or to not react as quickly to those feelings.
Navigating the waters of jealousy or insecurity in an open or poly relationship. Let's unwrap that together, because let's face it, it's a journey that many find themselves on, and you are definitely not alone. First off, you need to acknowledge those feelings. Yep, jealousy and insecurity can be a tough cookie, but they're also super normal emotions. The key is, don't shove them under a rug. Instead, grab a cup of coffee, a tea, a drink, and sit down with those feelings. What are they telling you? Oftentimes they're like little messengers pointing to needs or desires that might not be getting enough airtime. Communication is your magic wand here. Talk it out with your partners. It might feel like opening up a can of worms at first, but it's also opening the door to deeper understanding and connection. Use I statements to express your feelings without placing blame, like, I feel insecure when I don't know about your plans with others. And then don't forget to celebrate the good stuff too. What's working well in your relationships? Acknowledge and savor these moments. They are just as real and important as the challenging ones. Embrace the journey, communicate openly, and cherish the good times. And take care of yourself. You've got this. If you found any value to this, make sure to hit that heart button and follow me for more. I'm Courtney Heron, and I'm glad you came.
Hey, I told her to leave. You don't have to be all pissed off about it, okay? Like, it's really not the end of the world. You know that I have to create content, and she's someone that I can work with. So, would you stop?
No.
Are you, wow, come on, don't be like that. Hey, come on.